Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Margaret Adenekpekun. If this is your first time finding my channel, oops, you just landed in the right place. And if you're a returning subscriber, welcome. And if you're a returning viewer, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to be talking about something very interesting, which is choosing an elective in school. Have you ever chosen an elective in school before and you kind of regretted choosing that elective? So for some people, choosing an elective is not even a big deal for them. They just look at the courses available and they're like, I'll go for this one. Or they just weigh their chances, a little bit of research, and they're good to go. While for some other people, it's always a hassle. They have to ask people, probably attend both classes first before determining which they want to do. But you know the thing about asking people first before you choose your elective is that people can be subjective in their idea. For instance, if I did international law in school as my elective and you want to ask me about international law, I'll probably tell you about it in a way that you should or you could consider it, while the other person that took the other elective will probably tell you about it in a way that it's probably the best elective you should take for that level. So asking for advice can be objective. So today, why asking for advice is always a very good way to go, I'm going to be telling you about some tips that you yourself can do, answer some questions, and pick the best elective that you should do. So let's get right into it. So the first thing you want to understand is the aim of an elective. If you're somebody who is in like pre-med or first year in law school, you're still in that level where your CGPA or your GP determines whether you move to the next level or not, then your aim for that first year or for that year should just be boosting your GP, passing all your courses. That should be your aim. So yes, one of the aim of electives is to improve your marks, right? You don't want to do an elective that is as competitive or more competitive than your core courses. So you should go for bird courses. What are bird courses? Very easy. That's bird courses, like bird, B-I-R-D. Yeah. Pick courses that are objective rather than abstract. So when I mean abstract, I mean courses that have to do with so much concept, so much theories, philosophies, stuff that metaphysical and all of those. You don't want to go for courses like that. If you're going for courses that are bird courses, you want to do courses that are objective. They're like, okay, what is this? This is it. Not something that is subjective to so many people's views, has so many ideologies and theories and all of that. Don't go for abstract courses if you want to do bird courses. The number two thing you should consider when choosing an elective, something that interests you, genuine learning. You want to do a course that you really want to learn about. Does it interest you? While it is completely okay to go for an elective that does not interest you because you just want to know about it, and I mean it could just be useful in the future when you are considering a transition in career, that might be the only course that you have taken that relates to that field, and something like that. Or you're someone who wants to do something outside your major as a form of relaxation, so you don't want everything you are doing to be this particular course related. You just need something that is like a form of relaxation that is not related to what you do. Then you should consider the course, as long as it doesn't require as much effort as you would need for your core course. That is the main dish of choosing an elective. Everything I'm going to say today, make sure that while you are considering it, you are putting this icing on top. And what is the icing? Something that you do not require as much effort as you would for a core course. You don't want to be struggling to read a core course, a 4-unit course, and you're struggling to read a 1-unit course. For instance, 200 level, there were 3 electives to choose from. There was law, there was agric, and there was health. Yes. And then law was not possible for law students. We had to choose between agric and health, right? So I've always hated agric right from junior school, and even when I got to senior school, I did not choose it as an elective. And it's funny that when I wanted to pick my elective, it was agric that I felt like doing. Why? Because I just wanted to do something different. I wanted to do something that I had not done in a long time. I wanted to do something that I've not done. I've been doing health related courses like since primary school, even senior school, biology and all those stuff. Yeah, I chose agric that I didn't even used to have interest in. So your reason can be just because you want to do something outside what you're already used to, and that's a very valid reason too. And this can also come under your desire to try new things. You want to try out new things. You want to take this course on product designing just because you don't know anything about product design and you want to try out product design. You know what I'm trying to say. So yeah, if you're somebody that likes to experiment, somebody that likes to do something outside the usual, you can consider an elective that does not interest you at that point in time, but you can develop interest in. The number 3 thing you should consider when you're picking an elective is what I name the one-strand hypothesis. What do I mean by one-strand hypothesis? When you want to pick an elective, pick something that connects with your interest in one strand. So when I was in 200 level, the elective that I took for my law related courses was human rights. When I got to 300 level, the elective I took was family law. When I got to 400 level, the elective I took was international law. When I got to 500 level, when I got to 500 level, the elective I took was international humanitarian law and admin law. For somebody who doesn't really understand law courses, there's a one strand hypothesis in all of those courses. You see that I'm interested in international law, basically international related issues, because human rights also covers international human rights. Then I did international law, then I did international humanitarian law, right? So you will see that there's a one strand. You see the one strand hypothesis. So through my electives, you can draw out all my interests. You get what I'm trying to say? Although it is interesting that at the point where I was taking those courses, I was just doing it simply because that was what interested me. It was not because I wanted a one-strand hypothesis. But now you have the one-strand hypothesis, so you don't have to make the mistake. So consider what you want to do, what interests you. You might want to start using the elective to select what interests you. One strand hypothesis. Then the number 4 thing you want to consider when choosing an elective is wide thinking. Think broadly. When you get into university, it's so interesting that you can know all the courses that you are going to do, especially core courses now that you're going to do from your first year to your final year in university. So it's okay to get all those courses. You don't have to have an idea of what everything means. There are so many courses that on the face of it, when you see the title of the course, you can have a dint of idea of what it's trying to say. So you might want to consider picking an elective that aligns with a core course that you will be doing in the future or you are doing currently. For instance, when I was on 200 level, I already went through our portal, like university portal, where we see all the courses that you take in 200, 300, 400, 500 and all of those. So in first semester of 200 level, we had philosophy and political, I think political science or something, to pick one from, right? And then for second semester, that political science was not available, so everybody was going to do philosophy as their elective. You get what I'm trying to say? So in first semester, I decided to do philosophy as my elective because I knew I was also going to do it in second semester. So I was already like building my idea around it, especially for somebody like me who didn't join my mates in first year to do philosophy because they already did it in first year. So if you already did philosophy in first year, you might want to do political science in that first semester just to explore wide opportunities and gain ideas for other courses. But for somebody like me that didn't do it in my first year, doing it in that first semester helps me to gain my ground for second semester. You get what I'm saying? So I was not stuck. So it wasn't like first semester, I'm trying to understand political science, and second semester, boom, I have to start understanding philosophy again. It was just philosophy throughout. So you get what I'm trying to say. Look at all the courses that you're going to be taking and just pick electives that might help you for the courses that you will take later. For instance, for my course law, if you took family law, you will probably find it helpful when you are doing law of succession, right? If you took constitutional law, which was in fact a core course, you will find it helpful doing admin law, which is an elective. Do you understand? So just look at your courses, choose the one that you think will help you later, because at the end of the day, some of these electives are actually intertwined or play a role in core courses. So think wide. The number 5 thing you should consider when picking an elective is the lecturer or professor taking that elective. Well, this should not make or break your decision. It can play a great role. So what I would advise is that when you're picking an elective, the lecturer or professor taking the elective should not be the number one thing you are considering. It should be, because first of all, I mean, you are the one in school. You are the one to dictate your grade. You are the one to decide what you want to do, how you want to do it, and all of those things. So don't let another person play a major role or influence you in, what you want to do. Whenever I'm choosing an elective, do I consider the lecturer or professor taking that course? Maybe, but that's not the first thing I consider. First of all, I put myself first. Do I really want to do this? Then when I choose that, I'm like, okay, since I really want to do this, can I play with the lecturer? I'm like, yeah, sure, I've got this. Then I'm going to do it. Usually, if the lecturer taking the elective is a lecturer that's taking my core course, is never a problem to me, because if you are taking my core course, then why can't I deal with you for an elective? You get what I'm trying to say? The lecturer or professor taking that course can be considered, but it shouldn't be what will make or break your decision. It should in fact be the last thing on the list that you consider when picking an elective, because there is no doubt about it that it is better to not take the elective of some lecturers. Moving on to the number 6 thing you want to consider is time. There is no way on earth that your elective should take so much time like your core course. There is no way your elective should demand so much from you than or even as much as your elective. For crying out loud, it is an elective. Take something that complements your core course, not compete with your core courses. So yes, time is very important. It's better to choose something, back to my first point, that is objective and not abstract, because courses that are abstract, like entrepreneurship, they take a long time to study. After you must have considered these 6 things in choosing your elective, it is important for you to know that there is no hard and fast rule to choosing an elective. You can completely deviate from what interests you just because you want to try out new stuff, and you can decide to stick to the same thing just because you want to maintain the one strand hypothesis. It's okay to do unrelated electives simply because you want to create wider opportunities for yourself now or in the future. But the one thing that should be at the top of your list when considering an elective is choosing something that complements your core courses, not compete with your core courses. I hope you found this video very useful. If anything stood out to you, let me know. If you found this video very helpful, don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, recommend, tell every single person that you know that you're in the same category to watch the video. And I'll see you in my next video. Until then, keep excelling. Bye.